Now we're going to learn how to form plurals in Spanish. So the first rule to make a word plural is very simple. You just add the letter S to most nouns that end in a vowel. So if the word ends in A, E, I, O, or U, you add the letter S and you make it a plural. This one is very simple. For example, periódico, which means newspaper, we can make it periódicos, newspapers. Periódico, newspaper. Periódicos, newspapers. This one is very simple. We can say el periódico, the newspaper, los periódicos, the newspapers. And if you want to use un, basically a, we can say un periódico, a newspaper. Un periódico. And if you want to make it plural, you can say unos periódicos, some newspapers. Unos periódicos. Another example is libro, which means book. And if you want to make it plural, you add the letter S. Libros. Libros. Libro. Libros. And once we add the articles, el means the. El libro, the book, el libro. If you want to make it plural, we would say los libros, the books, los libros, the books. And if you want to say a book, we can say un libro, a book, un libro. And to make it plural, we would say unos libros. And for pen, we have pluma, which means pen. And if you want to make it plural, you would say plumas. However, pluma is more commonly used in Mexico and in some Latin American countries. And if you go to Spain, I believe they would say bolígrafo more than pluma. Bolígrafo, which basically means pen. It's the same word. They both refer to the same, but we just have different words for it. We can say la pluma, the pen, las plumas, the pens, una pluma, a pen, unas plumas, some pens, unas plumas. And the same works for adult. Adulto means adult. Adultos, adults. This one is very simple. It's just like English. And once again, el adulto, the adult. Los adultos, the adults. Un adulto, an adult. Unos adultos, some adults. Unos adultos. And the second rule is that you can add es if the word ends in a consonant. Basically, any other letter that is not A, E, I, O, or U. And the example we have is un sándwich. A sandwich. Un sándwich. And if you want to make it plural, we would say unos sándwiches. Some sandwiches. Unos sándwiches. This one is a very easy word. It's just like English. And another example is el pan, which means the bread. El pan. If you want to make it plural, we would say los panes. We just add es. Los panes. The breads. Los panes. And another rule is that you add s for words that come from other languages, such as English. An example will be los Pokémons. So this one is a foreign word, basically Pokémons, los Pokémons. And if you have one Pokémon, we would say el Pokémon. If you have more than one, we would say los Pokémons. But we would not say los Pokémones. Since Pokemon is a foreign word, we just add the letter S. So it ends in a non-vowel word, in a consonant, but it's a foreign word. So we would just add the letter S. I think it's a Japanese word, most likely. Los Pokémons. So this works for English words and even Japanese words. And the next one is icebergs. So basically, one iceberg would be iceberg. And since it's a foreign word, we just add the letter S. Icebergs. But we would not say iceberges. That sounds really weird. Iceberges. Don't say that. Icebergs. Icebergs. Un iceberg, dos icebergs. And the word for record, like when you win a record, we would say record. And to make it plural, we just add the letter S. Records. Just like in English. Records. But we would not say recordes. That doesn't sound correct. We would say records because it's a foreign word. The next rule is that if the word ends in S, you add ES, and in some cases there is no change. For example, un autobús, which means a bus. Un autobús. And if you want to make it plural, we would say unos autobuses. Unos autobuses. The next one is mes, which means month. And to make it plural, we would say meses. Months. Meses. So if you have only one month, we would say un mes. If there are 2 months, we would say dos meses. Tres meses. 4 meses. 5 meses. Meses. Here's an example where the last letter doesn't change. For example, el lunes becomes los lunes. But we do not say los luneses. We would say los lunes. El lunes, los lunes. And the same example goes for umbrella. We would say el paraguas, the umbrella. El paraguas. And to make it plural, we would say los paraguas. Los paraguas. But we would not say los paraguases. That one sounds wrong. El paraguas, los paraguas. The next rule is that if the word ends in Z, then you change it to CES. For example, feliz, which means happy, feliz, we would say felices, happy but plural. Felices. Another example is arroz, rice. Arroz, if we make it plural, we would say arroces. Arroces. But most of the time when we say arroz, we refer to the whole bowl of rice. Arroces, in many cases, we refer to the grains of rice, where you have lots of grains of rice. So arroz means basically rice. An example would be el arroz, the rice, los arroces, the rice, but it's mostly referring to the grains of rice. Un arroz, basically a rice. Un arroz, unos arroces, some rice. And if we only want to say one grain of rice, we would say un grano, which means grain, grano de arroz, one grain of rice. Un grano de arroz. And another example would be pencil. Lápiz, if we make it plural, we would say lápices. Lápiz, lápices, pencils. And we can say el lápiz, the pencil, el lápiz, Los lápices, the pencils. Los lápices. Un lápiz, a pencil. Unos lápices, some pencils. Unos lápices. Another example would be fish, pez. And if we want to make it plural, we would say peces. Fish, but plural. Pez, un pez. Peces, unos peces. And one more time. El pez, the fish. Los peces, the fish, but plural. Un pez, a fish. Un pez. Unos peces, some fish. Unos peces. And that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. So now it's your turn to practice Spanish. You can find the lessons Quizlet by going into the Lecture Resources folder. Thanks for watching.